Dr. Greg Rose. He founded with Dave Phillips, who'll be speaking tomorrow, the Titleist Performance Institute in 2003. Does anybody know how many people are certified through TPI? Let's see a hand. Or a guess. How many do you think? 2,000? 22,000 people are TPI certified in 64 countries. Wow. Congratulations. I was in Orlando about a little over a week ago, and I had the privilege to go to the World Golf Fitness Summit in Orlando, put on by Greg and Dave, and they had over 625 people from around the world come in for a 2.5-day seminar. And it's really something I've had the privilege to go to over the last 10 years. And really, when I thought about, putting this together, when Tom Addis called me, I'm on the teaching committee last year, and said, Sean, will you host this event next year? It was the times that I've gone to the World Golf Fitness Summit and seen the presentations. I've seen Mike Bender before, about 4 to 6 years ago. Listening to the way Greg presents and the others, and it really was kind of the inspiration about how I wanted to put this seminar on. And it's thanks to Greg and Dave and what they've done and what they've set as an example, as well as our own events. But I can't thank Greg enough. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just excited that I get to tell everybody that Hank Haney, Phil Mickelson, and Mike Bender were my opening acts. That's pretty cool, right? Sounds pretty good down here. Sorry, Mike. So I know it's kind of weird to have the chiropractor here on the driving range, but I kind of requested this because I thought we would do something a little different today. We do, as Sean was talking about, we do seminars on all different topics at TPI. Obviously, I think we came from the strength and conditioning world and kind of moved into a lot of different areas. But one of the topics that is always number one on, let's say, the wish list of every student is hit the ball farther, right? That's the talk of the town now, the distance. We actually do a 2-day workshop just on power. We actually have an entire educational track just on power. 5-time long drive champion Jason Zubak and myself teach that class all over the world. And I thought I would extract a couple pieces from that class to share with you. Sean was saying that, hey, we should do something that you can do tomorrow, some type of hands-on. So I'd like to show you a power lesson. Is that something you'd be interested in, how we would do a power lesson at TPI? And perfect, I'll show you how we do this. Now, Mike, are you still here? Ben? You might want to get that camera ready because we'll probably create some more of that blooper reel by the time we're done. Because we're going to do some crazy things. I'm going to actually show you some of the techniques that I've learned over the last 20 years working with the Long Drive Tour. So basically, I don't know if many of you know this, but I started in 1996 as the team doctor for the AccuFlex Long Drive team. Most of you don't even know what that means. Anybody know AccuFlex Long Drive team? How you? Okay. There were some really, really big dudes on that, and I was the small guy taking care of some of them. And it's amazing to see the same type of swing show up every year on the World Long Drive, and how different it is than what we see on the PGA Tour, or I should say the PGA Tour and even the LPGA is starting to turn more like the Long Drive Tour, which is kind of interesting. So I think what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you that my theory is that modern coaching is for accuracy, and that modern coaching coaches power out of the golf swing. So after everything you're going to hear from some great instructors today and tomorrow, I'm probably going to show you the things that most of you have been told never to do. It's the things that actually, I think, make the ball go farther. I'm not saying they make it go straighter, but they definitely make it go farther. And I'll show you how we implement this with our instruction, because I think there's a right way and a wrong way to try and introduce power, okay? Now, before I show you some of these crazy moves that these people do, just real quick, I thought I'd show you, this is at the end of the season last year, just some facts about why you should include power. I think a lot of people, they know they want to hit farther, but they're scared the ball's going to get more inaccurate, right? So they don't do some of these things. But I kind of point this out that if you look at the top 10 in the world at the end of the year, obviously already changed, Brooks just became number 1. That was the world rankings, and the number to the right was strokes gained off the tee, right? So how much of a weapon was the driver, right? 6 of the top 10 in the world were in the top 25 strokes gained off the tee. That is not a fluke, right? If I take that to driving distance, 7 of the top 10 are the top 25 in driving distance, right? If I take the par 4s, so this is your scoring performance on par 4s, which I think is really, really one of the big advantages of distance, right? That's the most holes on an 18-hole golf course are par 4s, and if you're going down with a shorter iron, look at this, first, second, third, seventh, eighth, ninth. Do you think there's a correlation with distance and how you score on par 4s? That's pretty darn important. Here's your driving accuracy leaders. Now there's some good ones in there, right? But if you're going to be a driving accuracy guy, or if you're going to be one of the leaders there, you got to have some other weapons in your game, right? There is a statistic that I like to quote, and I think it's 7 of the last 10 now. Leaders in driving accuracy. If you look, I think it's 7 of the last 10. It's either 7 of the last 10 or 7 of the last 9. The person on the PGA Tour that won driving accuracy, 7 of the last 9 have something in common. What is that? They lost their card. Yeah, I just want to make that really clear, right? So that's really, really important stuff. Some people are like, oh, but it's different for the women. No, it's not. I mean, driving their distance is important everywhere. It just shows up in the bank. Now, Indy Park, okay, she's number 1. This at the end of the year. She was 120th. Well, what is she? Probably the best part of the world. I mean, when she's on, it's ridiculous. Man, our woman, she's incredible, right? So, but if you look at this, we got 6 of the top 10 are in the top 35 driving distance on the LPGA. So whether you're looking at Rolex rankings, world rankings, there's an advantage. Ball speed, here's your ball speed just to see what's been happening. Started back 2009, 167, we're at 172 now, so that's number 60. If I take top 120, take number 60, call that the average. That's where we're at, 172 now. If I took the top 5 players, right, top 5 players through the first, through July of last year, that's how much they made. The top 5 driving distance, they made 30 million, right? By the way, if you took the top 5 driving accuracy, I think it was 2.1 million. I also like to track ball speed just to see how many players are hitting over 170 miles per hour. Okay, close to that. I don't think the total speed number is going up. It's not like this. It's not this huge curve. It was, the ball speed was going up, and now the average is starting to taper off, but the number of players here is getting more, right? So if I look at total number of players that would hit over 170 miles an hour, back in 2007, there was under 50. There was like 48 players that had over 170 mile an hour ball speed. 2016, we had 75. 2017, we had 85 players. I mean, literally, it's almost double, right? The number of players hitting that. So this is the best stat of all, by the way. All right, look at that. That's your tour driving distance leaders on top. Look at the bottom. That's what's coming. I think it's even scarier if you look at NCAA, right? So if you're thinking, you know, I want to really focus my junior clinics on making sure they can hit it straight and stuff. When you get to, you know, Dave and I had the pleasure of working with the CEO of Titleist, Wally Uline, his son, Peter, when, you know, he was really young, and we always stressed how important power was. When he won the U.S. Amateur, I remember the first hole, I think he outdrove the person he was playing by 100 yards. When someone hits it 100 yards past you and it's in a final match, it's like demoralizing. You feel like there's a weapon, you feel like you can't compete. I had players that played against Bubba, and one of my players said to me, I just can't beat him if he's on. That just sucks. Like, you don't want to set your students up for having that feeling. So distance is really important, I guess, is the moral of the story. So with that said, and I don't think I need to convince you guys, but sometimes you'll refer to some of those stats after I show you some of these crazy things to try, because your members might be like, why are we doing this again? Let me explain to you why we're doing this again. Now, I always say, whenever you're going to try and create something, you got to make sure you have all the right, let's say you're going to bake a cake, you got to have all the right pieces or recipe, you got all the pieces. So the question is, what do we need to be able to hit the ball farther? I think there's 3 things. Number 1, you need proper technique, right? Again, I think I'm going to show you a different technique than you're thinking. I think modern coaching coaches power out of golf swings. And I'm going to keep saying that over and over again. Modern coaching coaches power out of golf swings. So you need the right technique. Number 2 is you need the right engine, right? Something that's really frustrating is if you have a player that, and I've had many tour players that come to me and say, I just need 10 more yards. And they've been to 13 different instructors, one to the other, and I'm like, you can keep going to instructors, the engine's not big enough, right? I think that's really important. You gotta make sure the engine's big enough. And then equipment, probably the fastest way to increase yardage, right, to make sure. Now, on tour, obviously, that people are limited by what contracts they signed, but it's amazing how many players could be hitting it farther if they didn't have a signed contract. And no company is immune to that, right? Okay, now, here's, to me, this is the most important slide. I hate bullet point slides, but it's the most important slide. I think creating speed is a 5-step process. You want to create power. Okay, number one, I think what we're best known for at TPI is diagnosis, right? So in other words, if you have a power leak in your golf swing, I promise I'll find it. I think I'm good at a couple of things. I'm really good at finding power leaks, right? Now I think that diagnosis is one of the most important topics. It would take us 2 days to go through and show you how to do this, but we use motion capture to kind of see how you create power, how you transfer power. We do physical testing. We do all these types of things to try to figure out where's the problem coming from. After we check out the problem, this is like technical problems. You don't know how to create speed from your lower body, from your core, from your arms, from your club. Then we check the engine. We just go, okay, let's just see how powerful is the engine. We do some pretty simple medicine ball testing, some vertical jump testing. I can literally take 4 tests without a golf club. I can take 3 of them with a medicine ball and 1 is a vertical jump, and I can predict your ball speed within 2 miles an hour. That's pretty cool, right? So I can check your engine. That's your ball speed potential, right? If you don't know how to swing, never mind. But if you know how to swing, I can predict. We check the engine. Okay, once I make the diagnosis, all right, your problem is you've got a path problem that's creating some club head to ball speed problems. We'll check the engine, see what the engine is, and then here's the process of how we improve. And we're going to kind of start right in the middle in this lecture here. Step 3 for me is number 1 is, can we increase club head speed? Now, what creates club head speed? You, the golfer, right? Right. So basically, first thing I want to see is, can we, once I diagnose the problem, we check the engine. So imagine I check the engine, I say, your engine, you should be able to swing 170 miles an hour. And you say, but Greg, I'm 150 miles an hour, right? That's ball speed. I'll say, what's your club head speed? You say, well, my club head speed's 100 miles an hour. I'm like, well, based on my numbers, you should be able to go 114 miles an hour. I look at your engine, I see where you're at. If you're too low, I'm like, well, we got to get more club head speed. We'll worry about ball speed secondly. But the first thing I want to do is I want to figure out, is there something we can do to maximize your club head speed? That's what I'm going to show you the lesson today, how to maximize the club head speed. I like doing this in a net, by the way. I don't care where the ball goes. I just want to know, can we increase your club head speed? Because if you're cruising at 100 miles an hour and we do something really weird, and all of a sudden it jumps to 112, 114, which happens all the time, trust me, your student is now interested. They're like, okay, that was crazy, but I don't know how to hit it straight from there. I go, but the good news is we know you can do it. Now, if I can teach you how to hit it straight from there, are you interested? What do you think they're going to say? Teach me, coach. Now I'm interested. Before, they're kind of scared to do that. But when you show them 12 mile an hour club head speed change, we've had 24, 25 mile an hour club head changes. They just don't know what they're doing, right? So the first thing we do is we try to maximize club head speed. There's like a note. That's Mike's breaking the plane right there. I can't break that plane right there. So I want to do that first. So I go after maximizing the club head speed, and I'm going to show you the tricks we do. Now, once we maximize the club head speed, we know what we need to do to make them swing the club faster. Now we go to ball speed. How do you maximize ball speed? Now it's how well can you make contact, right? So we figure out what techniques it's needed to move the club head, then we try and make sure it transfers to the ball, and then once we do that, then we club head them. Oh, if you club head them first, we do experiences at TPI. People come in, it's like fantasy camp, and we take people through these experiences. Where's Robert Bunn? Where'd you go, Rob? He was here a minute ago. One of our others. Rob would do some of the fitting for us. Let's say Dave's working on swing over there. I'm doing some physical. We would rotate. We always like, whoever started with fitting kind of got screwed. Because by the time we were done, we probably have to change the fit. Does that make sense? So I like to do that last. Because that's like the fine tuning. We kind of match everything. So that's, to me, if you want to take a picture of anything, if I can teach you anything, that's the order of which you go after power. Right? I see people do that backwards all the time, and it just doesn't work. Okay? Everybody understand that? Diagnose, check the engine. Once I know the engine, I know my potential. I figure out what things can I do to get the club head to move what the engine can do, and then I maximize my ball speed and then swing. Okay, so what I like to do is talk about how to get the club head to move faster. And what I thought we would do, I brought some of these little launch monitors here. They're not TrackMans, but they work pretty good. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I got 6 of them. And I'm going to show you some of these techniques. Then I'm just going to ask for 6 volunteers, and I'll show you how we give a power lesson. and we'll kind of track to see what kind of yardage, what kind of club head speed gains we get. Okay? So I can plan? So I have 6 volunteers that, oh, cool, we got perfect. All right, perfect. Anybody want to gain 30 yards? Yeah, okay. Okay. But you might be on one of Mike Bender's blooper reels by the time we're done, so just remember that. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about long drive tour. Now, here's Jason Zuback. Does that look like a normal golf swing? We're going to kind of break this down. Like, I'm going to start with the lower body, then we'll move to the arms. I think you can create power in 4 different areas. I think you can create power from pushing on the ground. We call it vertical thrust. I think you can create power by rotating. There's ways to rotate. I think you can definitely create power, like Mike was talking about, arm. We call it arm shot power. And I think you can create power by wrist, too. There's basically those 4 main engines in your golf swing. I want to talk a little bit about the lower body first, right? So, let's say modern teaching teaches power out of your golf swing. Number one reason is because the number one thing we see that increases power is you don't create a stable base. Number one, you let your lower body move. Okay, you let your lower body move in the backswing. So let me talk about that first. So this is a slow motion. Jason, it's going really slow. Let's watch the left heel, left foot. Okay, so I'm going to pause there for a second. How much does the left foot move in the backswing? We have force platforms and pressure plates. We call it blackout. Or what you'll see is all the. I think Scott's talking about pressure and ground reaction forces tomorrow. You'll see all the pressure shift to the right foot. And a lot of people think, oh, they're just moving to the right. They're not moving to the right. They lift their left foot off the ground. So the only thing they're standing on is their right? So the pressure looks like it shifts. But literally, a lot of times, lifting the heel is one thing, but I mean, like, that foot came off the ground, right? Let's look at, there's like full speed, Jason. I know a lot of people are like, you got to keep a stable base, you got to keep the lower body on the ground. You have no chance of getting 180 mile an hour ball speed if you do that, right? Most of your amateurs that you work on, it always makes me laugh, by the way. We take video for amateurs, we put the video up there, we split the screen, and then we put Michelle Wee or we put Adam Scott up there. How many of your members can physically do what they can do? I mean, Peter Costas taught me a story that I have to tell everybody that I think is incredible. He said, golf and your students are like apparel. He said, think about back in the day, Bobby Jones, what did he wear? Oh, a suit, like a 3-piece suit. He goes, how easy is it to move in a 3-piece suit? It's pretty freaking hard. So what did they do? Everything moved. Right? It's lots of movement, feet are moving, they can't stabilize, they couldn't move. Then all of a sudden there came out modern apparel. Here comes the Tiger Woods era, right? Modern apparel, stable base, rotate, the big flexibility, and create coil. He said, so we have 2 types of players. We have 3-piece suits and we have modern apparel. What are your members? They're 3-piece suits, I promise, right? But if you teach 3-piece suits to play like modern apparel, you're teaching power out of it also. Does that make sense? So we need to get them moving is the moral story. You see the divots in front of his left toe, in front of his right toe? That's not from the ground. That's his feet. That's not from hitting the divots with a club. That's his feet digging trenches. We just keep moving them backwards because it tears the tee box up, right? Because his feet are moving so much. Right? He's hitting off the tee. He's not hitting the ground, right? Okay, let's take a look at this one. Maybe the left foot, that's super close up. It's just dragging, right? There's no. Okay, we'll get to the downswing in a sec. This is Clayton Berger. Clayton Berger set the world ball speed record back in 2006 on our 3D machine at TPI at 224 at that time. Justin James, who we coached, just set 227 in the World Championships last year on ball speed. But Clayton's ex-baseball player. Watch the left foot again. That foot's off the ground. I just want to make sure it just kind of rolls. Here's Justin, speaking of Justin James. So if you're looking at the left heel off the ground, I think that's Pretty obvious. Do you see what he did on the downswing, by the way? We'll come to that in a second. I'll say it one more time. He drew a line behind his heels. Mike talked about this perfectly, about if you're trying to create speed, you want to pull back. That's his whole body pulling back. You see that? And kind of jumping back. All right, here's a modern golf swing. All right, Luke. Stable lower body. Keep your feet planted on the ground. Anchor. Big back swing. Post up on the left leg and rotate around. That's the modern golf swing. What's Luke Donald want? More distance, right? This is a little drill that Jason does. We call it happy feet. That's happy feet. We're going to try that in a minute, okay? Happy feet. I'm kind of showing you these real quick because what we're going to do is when we get the 6 volunteers, we're going to get your baseline speed, and then we're going to go through and we're going to try using these principles and see if we can increase your final speed. Okay, that's number 1. That's the easy one. And by the way, there are rules on how to lift that lead foot in the backswing. I think it's really important that when you do these, you want them to lift the foot off the ground, but there's a couple of things you don't want them to do. We'll get to that when we get to the coaching part of this. I think that's really, really important. Okay, obviously there's a lot of PGA Tour players, Bubba Watson, that Jack Nicklaus kind of did that for a while, I think, right? Okay, now, speaking of Bubba, that was the lead heel in the backswing. Let's talk about let's talk about the lead foot on the downswing now. Okay, watch that again, watch as he comes for impact. I thought you were supposed to post up on that lead leg. What's the lead leg do? Look at these crazy feet right here. Watch the lead foot on the downswing. Who would coach that? But that's the current world long drive champion, by the way. Good. Literally the longest hitter on the planet right now. Actually, Justin Tate's still ranked number 1, but he's ranked number 2 in the world right now. Why does that help? This is Joe Miller, one of the largest humans on the planet, from England. And if you watch his left on the side, that'll be in a second. Kind of crazy. Here's Jamie Sadowski, 2-time world drive champion. He's smaller than me, by the way, which is incredible how much speed he gets. He's actually on the web.com, what we call key school. He's in second stage now. Yeah, got through first stage, now he's going to second stage. Yeah, I mean, he can play. He's probably in long drive, him and a guy by the name of Dave Mobley, the two that probably have the best looking golf swings. Well, the regulations now are 48, so that's probably 48. We used to be able to take the club as long as we want, but then in 2002 or 3, we kind of went to the length rules. That's Carl Walter, another 2-time world long drive champion. Used to be a javelin thrower. He heels up and then the lead foot spinning. So if I said, hey, can I have a volunteer just for 2 seconds? Like that? What? Set up just like this. Right here, holding your right hand. And this is World Series Game 1. You're pitching. Okay? Red one is the target. That's the catcher. Throw one for me. Throw hard. Okay, where's your left foot? What did he do? Of course you would step out like that. Why would you keep your foot pointing this way? Right? Would that make any sense to not turn your foot out? Thank you. That's called power, right? Like I don't know why you would ever say, no, this has got to stay planted and you got to go at that right target. That's zero power. So I want to make that really clear, right? We'll come back to modern coaching again. This is Ryan Winters, 1-time world long drive champion. I know what it looks like. But you just saw, I said throw as hard as you can. He didn't think about it. He just did what was natural. What was natural? Freaking turn your toe towards the target. Of course that's natural. That's how we're going to create. How many of your hips actually work with your foot square, perpendicular. Most of your hips won't work that way. This is Eric, what's Eric's last name? One of the Cobra long drive guys. And again, happy left foot. See that left foot? All right, modern coaching. Jason Duffler, keep that left foot posted, planted, square, pointing forward. Right? Promise that's coaching power out of the golf. Okay, number 3. So first thing we got is the lead foot. We're talking about lead foot's lifting up. We'll talk about some of the rules of that. Now as you come down, the lead foot's spinning and pointing at the target. Wait till you see the list I got for you when we're done this lesson. Okay? Everything you've told your students never to do. Mike talked a little bit about this. We had a couple of blue corner reels. Squatting down and then jumping for impact. All right, so if I take Jason, you can see in transition, look how much lower he is. Under motion capture, he gets 6-7 inches of a squat. Now it's really weird. Like I said, jump as high as you can jump. Most people, their hands go down, and then as they jump, their arms swing up. Right? In golf, right, as you squat down or jump, and as you jump, your arms go down. It's a weird jump. Everybody try it for a second. Stand up for a second. Stand up for a second. Watch how weird this is. Because this is called ass backwards. Right? So watch. Do a normal jump. Just squat down and jump. Okay, now this time, as you jump up, your arms go down. Go for it. Okay, use that. After you're like, what the hell? That's weird, right? But if you think about it for a second, right? Your arms are up, you're squatting down, and then as you jump, your arms go down. Is that something we train? Do we try and train that move in the gym? You ever seen us do stuff with medicine balls? We're this way? All the time. All the time. It's a weird type of squat. That's what happens in the golf swing. Squat. No. Now if you notice, Jason's doing one of these little, we call it squat, jump, pause. So he goes to the top of the backswing, pauses, squats, and then he jumps. But what does he not do? He doesn't move towards the golf ball. I think that's really, really important. When we go out here and we experiment with this, what we normally do is, when they do this, is we'll put a club down on the ground, and normally what we'll do is we'll put the club, so I usually use the right toe and the left heel as, imagine if this is my right toe, my left heel, I'll put that as like a guide, and basically when they're here, they're squatting, and as they're jumping in the direction of that club. They're not jumping forward. This is death. Come forward is death. Mike Bender talked about it perfectly. Just remember, we're going to try to make this club move as fast as we can this way. Can I move this club faster if I'm moving backwards or moving forward? I mean, it's obvious you've got to move backwards, right? If you're moving forward, promise you're coaching power out of the golf swing, right? You cannot get the RPMs of velocity if you're moving forward, right? Got to make sure you're moving backwards. There's Rory. That's a 17-year-old Rory. Basically, watch. He's gonna squat down, and now he's gonna jump. You see it? Under motion capture, it's really obvious to see this. Squat down and jump. If I put a little line there, Keegan Bradley, great at doing that. Watch Jason's butt. Watch the belt line. Squat, jump. Everybody see it? By the way, usually he squats down about 5 to 7 inches, and then when he jumps, he goes up maybe 1 or 2 from his original. So there's actually like a 8-9 inch vertical jump just down there. See it from there. And what's really cool there is if you watch his butt, he's moving backwards. As he swings, he's falling back. You saw that with Justin James. They're jumping, but they're falling backwards. That is so important if you're going to try jumping. I see so many people go, I tried to do a little squat, and they're jumping forward, and they're like, it sucks. I'm like, no, the way you're jumping sucks, right? That's definitely don't want to do. Here's the modern golf swing. Okay, Hunter, keep your belt nice and level. Keep it level. And we're going to keep it level without squatting, jumping, and rotate. And great job. Accuracy. What would Hunter want? More ball speed, right? Okay, so now we've got the lead leg is moving on the backswing, lead leg is moving on the downswing. Now we're squatting, we're jumping, all the things that you coach in your lessons, right? Okay, now we're going to talk about weight shift. Now again, this is not a, this isn't a swing theory, swing model, which one's better, two pivot or one pivot. I'm just talking about physics and power. If you want to throw the ball faster, you need to step towards the hitter. If you stand on the mound and do this, okay, that's not going to have a lot of velocity. Whenever you move, your foot hits the ground. When your foot hits the ground, what happens? Equal reaction comes back into you. So when you hit the ground pushes back. It hits this hip and it helps create what we call a rotary moment. It creates this incredible velocity. So the more weight shift you have, the more power you can create. That's just pure physics. Now, is there a variable now? A timing variable that can become a problem? Of course it can. That's why some of these swings where they don't move can be more accurate. They just can't be as powerful, right? It's just physics, right? So literally, one of the things that you'll notice is on a lot of these players, this is Will Hogue, he's probably number 3 in the world right now. But you'll notice the load into the back leg. Okay, so there's a definite weight shift, right? One of the drills we'll do, we'll talk about how to make sure you're loading. Now, why do we say you should load the right? It's so that you can get left. The whole goal is to get left, right? But sometimes if you start left, you kind of fall backwards. We need to make sure you aggressively get left, right? There's Jason demonstrating a load right leg. They're not swaying, they're loading aggressively. He's crazy, isn't he? This is the number 2 ranked woman in the world. I'm going to back up to that, just that setup again. See how loaded she is, how she starts right, so she can get left. That's how we like to experiment. Step drills. Patrick Harrington does these, we call them Happy Gilmore swings. He can raise his ball speed literally over 20 miles an hour by doing a step. And he's so good at it, by the way, you can watch him like hit a ball and you can call, like in the step, you go draw and you get a draw. Fade and fade. Dave and I were saying, we're like, just one day, on the first day at Augusta, just do it. I'm like, it doesn't even matter what you shoot, you'll be this talk at Sports Center forever, who cares? And I'm like, he's actually better when he does it. That's Brian Pavlet. He was number 2 in the world for a long time. Again, ex-baseball player. You can see how well he's loading on his back leg. I'm just giving you evidence. It's Art Selinger started along back 4, loads right, goes left. Ryan Wither is almost too far to the right, in my opinion. Okay, so that's weight shift. This is Tim Burke. I think he's number 5 in the world right now. Break. By the way, why? Let's talk about the first 2. Why do I want you to lift the heel in the backswing? Say it again. Why do I want more turn? Does it matter how far this club goes? It doesn't like John Daly's better? Why? John Rahm, yeah, we work John, he's not very far, he's pretty powerful. Why does this mean more? You have more time to create speed. There is an advantage. That's exactly right. You have more time to create speed. The best way to explain this is a good friend of mine, Sasha McKenzie, is a biomechanist. Imagine that was a rotary chair, and I had you sit right here on the rotary chair. He kind of showed me this is if I stand behind you, and I hold on to this, and I say, okay, and I ran into this podium right here. Would it hurt? It would pretty hurt. It would hurt a lot. But if we came back over here, I said, let's do this again, and then I do a running start, and I said, is that going to hurt more? I probably could kill you then, right? I have more time to accelerate. That's the same thing I have more time to accelerate this club. There's a definite advantage. That make sense? A definite advantage. A lot of these things are helping create more ramp time, more acceleration time. The squatting and jumping is creating more of that backing up to create more acceleration, like Mike talked about. Loading the right leg allows me to get more momentum. Okay. Those are some of the lower body ones we're going to try here in a second. Remember, when we do this, try these experiments, some of you are going to freak out. You're going to go, this is ridiculous. I don't care where the ball goes. All we're going to look at is club head speed, right? We just want to see if your club head speed goes up. If your club head speed goes up, then we'll show you actually how to hit the center doing that stupid move. Does that make sense? So you got to get, that's why I like a net. Get that out of your brain, and let's just see. Because if your ball speed, let's say I said squat and jump. You guys are like, that's ridiculous. Squat and jump. If your squat jump, your club head speed went up 12 miles an hour, who would try it? Most of your members would be like, I got to try that, right? And you just got to know how to coach that, right? Okay, hands. Let's talk about the hands real quick. Now, Mike talked beautifully about the hands again. Think about this. When your hands are going down, when you put your arms down, your ground reaction forces go up. So when you push down with your arms, you're actually pushing against the ground harder. That's why arm speed is really important and can create incredible speed. Now, one of the keys is the height of the arms. This is Kyle, I can't remember his last name. Birchow, Kyle Birchow, thanks. If I take the top middle of his hand, I draw, look how high his hands are above his head. What does that look like? PGA Tour. Dustin and Bubba. Well, why does this matter? Everybody stand up. Let's do it. Stand up. Okay. Thanks for hanging in there. I know it's been a long day, guys. I promise it's about to get funny when we start watching people do these stupid swings. Okay. You're gonna let's take your hands, put your feet together, take your hands out. Okay, now, all you're gonna do is you're gonna rotate maybe 10 degrees. Just 10 degrees back and forth. Just 10 degrees back and forth. Now I'm going to teach you something called moment of inertia. Just moment of inertia is your resistance to torque. Do you feel the resistance in your feet when you try and change direction? Take your hands out. Keep your hands out and do this with me. Feel the resistance to torque in the ground. Now I'm going to show you what figure skaters figured out a long time ago. Okay? Take your arms, cross your arms over here. Did I just reduce your moment of inertia? Okay, now take your hands back out there. Feel the torque? Let's do what the figure skater. Take your hands up here. Does that also work? Okay, sit down for a second. Now with that feeling, which is pretty freaking obvious, right? This harder to rotate. Remember I said you want rotational speed. This is harder to rotate. This is how you slow down if you're a figure skater. If I want to make it easier to rotate my trunk, I can do this. But if I do this, okay, now I don't have a lot of distance that I can travel with the club. So the other option would be put my arms up above my head, which is what the biggest hitters in the world do, right? So literally, whether you're looking at Kyle or Jamie, there's Keegan, there's Bubba, there's Dustin. I look at the height of the hands above the head. That is literally a way of reducing moment inertia to be able to create more body speed, right? That is so important if we can do it, right? Let's Bubba do this. And by the way, the higher those arms are, the more arm speed we can create, more ground reaction force we can create. There's your figure skater. Going to twirl now. Okay, so high hands. That's going to be something we're going to try. Okay, let's go. There's Jason. By the way, is it important to have that right forearm vertical, or is it okay to have your arm over here? Who the hell cares? Put your hands up in the air. Hands up in the air. This is power. Who cares? Okay, we care. There's a very young Jason today. His hands are. Okay. All right. There's Angel Cabrera, another very powerful man. Okay, what's more powerful? Here, here, or here? Here, or here? Okay, we all agree that bending the elbow is way more powerful? Yes? And that modern coaching takes power out of the golf swing? We'll make sure. If this is your thought right here, again, it's taking out a link in the chain, which makes it more accurate, for sure, right? But if I add another link in the chain, I can create more velocity in that width, right? But I thought that it's really important that width, the farther I am away, the more velocity goes. Have you heard that? That's true. At impact, right? But if I can get my hands up, even if I have to bend my elbow to get my hands up, it can lower my moment of inertia. I can get a bigger, higher ramp, club get over here. I can now, at the moment of truth, if I straighten out, I've got my big radius and I'm good to go. Biggest hitters in the world rarely keep their arms straight, right? There's Carl Walter, bent elbow. Here's JB Holmes. I got JB on 3D with almost 80-degree bent elbow. I can pause it. I can get it right at the end, but bent elbow. This is, how many of you are familiar with the kinematic sequence? Okay. That's JB Holmes' kinematic sequence. There's 5 links there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th one's the elbow, right? If you time it perfectly, you're JB Holmes. Again, when you add another link, if you make that out of sequence too, then we got problems. But if you can add that, you add velocity, big time. Okay, 2 last things. I think grip pressure is something we always experiment with too for club head speed. Sometimes firmer grip is better, sometimes lighter grip. Right? People always think, oh, lighter grip's better. If you ask a tour player how hard they're gripping, what do they say? High? Is that what you said? Oh, light. Like, if 10's the most, what do most torque players say? By the way, Sean, where are you? You over here? What time do I go to? 4:45? Okay, cool. So if 10's the most they can squeeze, what's torque players? 4 or 5, about half? Okay, we actually tested all of our torque players, their grip strength. We use a device called a dynamometer. It measures kilograms of mercury. It's kind of like one of those little pressure readings that go up. Most humans walking around, if I tested your lead side, which is the stronger side, it's not the one hitting the hammer, it's the one holding the nail that's stronger. So the lead side is usually stronger with torque player. If I squeeze that as hard as they can, get their 100% maximum, for an amateur, normally it's around 30 kilograms. For a torque player, it's around 55. So let's just say torque players have about double the grip strength as amateurs do. So when a torque player says to you, I grip it at 5 out of 10, which is what most of them said. If they're normally at 60, they're gripping at what? 30. If you tell your amateur, hey, grip it at 50%, if they're at 30 and they go to 15, it's way too low. Most amateurs have to squeeze 100% to have the same grip pressure that a torque player has, which sucks. Because if they hold it that hard, it creates all the stiffness that we were talking about. So what's the best way to have soft forearms but a firm grip? You make it stronger. It's grip strength. I'm telling you, one of the number one things we do in the gym for power is grip strength. How do you get stronger grip strength? Carry heavy stuff. So we do. Ever seen a cannonball with handles on it, or a kettlebell? We do a lot of kettlebell stuff just to get grip strength. I'm telling you, that is so important to do. Soften your forearms, but have good grip strength. Now, I think when you have soft hands, you can create lag, right? That's the other thing you'll see with a lot of these players, like Sergio, a lot of these guys that aren't so big. There's Jamie with some incredible lag. So sometimes we'll add lag into the mix here. Okay, so everybody get that's a quick scan. I want to get away from the presentation and show you how we do it at the school here. But you get an idea where we're going? So what we're going to do is I'm going to put a list up here. Okay, I'm going through this fast because I don't want to run out of time. Hold on. You see this? All right, so in summary, this is what we're going to try. Imagine this golf lesson right here. Okay, lift your lead leg on the backswing. Let your lead leg rotate for impact. Load your trail leg on the backswing. Jumping is okay. Lift your arms as high as you can. Bend the lead arm, create the release scoop, and most importantly, swing freaking hard. Right? How's that sound? Okay, I need 6 volunteers. All right, let's see. Stand up if you want to be able to volunteer. Okay, so let's see this. So what I need is, do I have anybody here that is over 170 mile an hour ball speed right now? Over 170? Yeah. Okay, one, and what's your ball speed? What's your ball speed?
171, 172. 171, 175.
You two in the back? Paper, rock, scissors, or wins, come up here. Okay, ladies, listen to ladies. So, give me ball speed.
180.
Ball speed?
No,
No idea. Ball speed? What's your ball? Don't look around you, get your hand up. Look at me. Okay, I'll take the two no ideas. Come on, the two ladies, no idea. Come on up. And then, all right, so let's see. So that's 4 people, right? I got 2 more. So is everyone on the rest here? Okay, let's go. If you don't know your ball speed, sit down. If you don't know your ball speed, sit down. Everybody else, you know your ball speed. Okay, if it's less than 160, sit down. Okay. You two, right here. You two, come with me. Yep. All right, cool. Everybody else, thank you. Yep. The 2 of you that sat down. First myself. Okay, so we got our 6 volunteers. All right, thank you guys. So we got some big hit. We got a big hitter. You want paper, rock, scissors? Nice job. Okay, so we got some big hitters. I have no freaking idea. And basically, you're under 160 mile an hour ball speed if you're looking for speed. So we got a good variety. Does that make sense? Okay, guys. So what I'm going to do is these little launch monitors. I think on the back of the monitor there's a plug. There's a power button. You just turn the power button on. You always tee the ball up about right here. Okay, so you're standing here. You're going to hit here. What I'd like you to do is just get a baseline. Like hit like 4 or 5 balls and get a baseline. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create record keepers. Okay. Oh, is that going to help me? You got a piece of paper? You got a memory? Okay. This way, look at me. Look at me real quick. Look at me. Look at me. You're going to tell him your baseline. Okay, after 4 or 5. And then as we try things, you're going to tell me if she's going up or down, how by how much. He's your record keeper. Okay? You're his record keeper. Okay, so you're gonna Tell him when you get your basic. You're his record keeper. When you get your basic, tell him what your average is, and we're going to track these. Do you mind? They're going to be his record keeper. You can sit right there. He's just going to tell you. So when he tells you his number, just remember that number. And then I need one person to be his record keeper. Hey, can you, right behind you in the black. I can't cross the line. Somebody record. You record his. Okay, so just give me your base. Hit 4 or 5 balls. I just want to know your club head speed is, your baseline before we start screwing you up. And by the way, I have no idea what those clubs are. We threw some clubs down. Oh, if you need to move. Is it not working? There you go. There you go. Yeah, it says 75 club speed right there. So yeah, so just make sure you give your record. After you hit like 4, after you hit 4 and you got like an average, then stop. Wait for me. This would be our power lesson. Imagine if you had a group lesson, bring 6, 7 members out. I think it's important to have a little launch monitor. These monitors are like $250, $300. You get speed monitors, right? Basically, get their baseline, and then we're all going to try one thing together. We go through it. At the end, you're going to see some pretty clear winners here. Now remember, guys, the way we do this, the lesson, listen to me real quick. The way we do this lesson is we're going to try each of these things. And each one of these, we're going to see if it increases speed. After we try each one of these, we might look at the top 2 that increase speed, and we might try them together. Then we're going to see what gives us the biggest club head speed change. Okay, everybody got a baseline? It should level out, like it should be consistent now, right? Okay. All right, timeout. 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 Record keepers. 75. Okay, we have to get one. Okay. Now let me make sure you're doing it right. Is the machine not picking up? Just try that now. Just do what speed. There it goes. Okay. 190. Dude. I like it. 190. Okay, cool. So we had 75. What was that one? Club. Club? Club is 115? Dumb. Club. Oh, so that's pretty good too. Okay, we're on a club. Club. Look at club. Okay, everybody got your baseline? Sorry. What was yours? Just club. 103? 103? 119? Club? That's ball. That's gotta be ball. 104? Club. Can you write that down? 120 club? Okay, just make sure, because it's kind of hard to do this lesson if we don't have just the number one baseline. Everybody understand the baseline? Club. I don't care about your ball speed. So all I want to know is if we do something stupid, does your club head speed go up? What's that? 136. That probably makes more sense if you're at 190. Okay. So 136 club. Okay. All right. You guys ready? Everybody have a baseline so we know if it's going up at all? Okay. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Here's the first part of the lesson. So after we've done this, by the way, if this is a group lesson, we would basically, if this group's meeting, let's say once a week, and we're doing this, we would track these. We would put your starting, the date, what their basic starting number was, and we post these things. People love these things. Okay, first thing we're going to try is that lead heel is going to come off the ground in the backswing. Now, let's talk about what I don't want you to do. I need my hitters to be able to see this. I want you to watch Dave here. Dave, set up like you're going to hit. Okay, watch this real quick. If Dave lifts his lead heel, there's a couple things that people do wrong. Let's do wrong. Come back down. So if I look at here, when they lift the lead heel, one of the first things you're going to do is stand up. Is you're going to do it. That's not okay. Right? You're going to still maintain your posture. Right? Other thing a lot of times people do is when they lift the lead heel is they drift, they sway. We don't want you to sway. We don't want you to lift up. We just want you to just allow yourself to just to keep turning. But try to maintain your posture. Let's try it. Lift your lead heel as much as you can and swing hard. And I want to look at his club. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Are we worried about hitting those guys? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't want a death at the summit here. So let's not keep talking about it. What do we get to? Keep going. 2 out of 5. Okay. Anything change here yet? Let's do about 30. 90. 136 to 145? Club. Oh, look at this club. What's that? It went down. Okay, it went down. Make sure you hit 3 balls with this. Oh, shit, you're hitting those guys up there too. Well, we're just trying not to kill people right now, so. Maybe I picked the wrong guys here. Sorry, Sean. Probably should have picked them. You know what, guys, long drive guys, I'm getting to look like this is a bad idea. So, is that the junior class up there? Nah, it's just kids, you know. We okay? I don't want to hurt anyone. Okay. Okay, stop. Everybody stop. Okay, look at me. Record keepers. First record keeper, how much increase? Just give me a number. How much up? 1 mile an hour. Second one. Went up 5. Killed people. Okay, went up 7. Stayed the same. Went up 6. Stayed the same. Okay, so now remember, any of you guys that went up, if you went up like 5, 6 miles an hour, that's definitely going on the list. So when I say do the combo, remember when we get to the combo, anything that went over 5 miles an hour is part of your combo. Okay, so it looks like we have 3 of you that are at least going to do that. Okay, next one. All right, so the next one, here's what we're going to do. To get the feeling of the left foot spinning out, we're going to start like this, guys. Here's where we're going to start. Same normal swing. You're just going to point your left toe at the target, and you're going to take your normal swing and swing hard. Okay, we're just going to start that way. Left toe, I mean, like for you, right toe, left, yeah, exactly, like it's pointing at the target. Let's go ahead, let's try a couple. Normal swing, your normal swing, swing hard, do your normal, all you're doing is just turning the left foot out more, it's up. Yep, left foot just starts out more. You can do whatever you want, in fact, just start more open. Don't kill anybody. Okay. They cleared the range. We're good. Okay, now listen up. There's 2 ways to let that left foot spin. The first one was just giving you an idea what it feels like at impact. Did that make a change with anybody? What did we get over there? We got 2. Did we get anything over here? It was so fast you didn't get a reading. Okay, so here's the second way. Sorry, sometimes these monitors. Okay, the second way to do this, that when we do our lessons, is we go back to the first one. You can let the lead heel come off the ground, and as you come down, you point the toe towards the target. Okay, we'll try that toe turning in the top of the backswing. Yeah. So it starts normal, and then it opens up. We'll let it go. Still the same number? Is that still the same number? 1 mile an hour? Yeah. So basically all we're talking about now is heel comes up, and then when you come down, it doesn't plant this way, it plants this way. Right? Just allowing it to, oh, you're throwing a ball. Okay. All right, let's try the next one. And obviously we would take our time, right? I'm trying to get through this so you guys can see all this. Okay, here we go. Next one. Sorry guys, I know that sometimes they're not monitored, the monitors aren't reading each one. Okay, now we're going to make sure you're loading the back leg. So what I like to do is imagine where's that club? Imagine your belt buckle. Look at me. Imagine the belt buckle. There's a plumb bob hanging down from your belt buckle. If there's a ball in the middle of your stance, that plumb bob needs to be halfway between the center of your stance and your back foot. So this plumb bob cannot be forward. It has to be. Here's the plumb bob. This looks really weird on video. Okay, so there's a ball here in the middle. We've got a ball here in my right foot. The plumb bob is going to be halfway between. It starts here. You're going to start here. Now, obviously, you can go left. You're just going to start loading. Okay? Start loading on the right leg. You can and let it fly. Let it rip. What's that? Sometimes with his speed, it might not catch it to do a couple. Yeah, ideally if we had track hands lined up or something that we would catch each time. Went up 10 miles an hour with that one. So you're starting to see which ones. So notice some of these have worked on some of them, some haven't. We go through the whole list and then we're going to say, okay, which two made the biggest, and we're going to combo. That's where we're going, right? You're going to see some crazy, crazy club this weekend. So basically all we're doing is make sure there's a weight shift. It's almost like I'm going to start on your right leg, and I'm going to have you go pro, right? So basically you're going to start here, normal backswing, and I'll go left. It gets rid of anybody this way. Yeah. Hey, by the way, what do you think? Is this a fun golf school for these guys? They're just smashing things. They love it, right? It's awesome. Yeah. Oh, don't go out there. Yeah. Yeah, don't go out there. Especially during these crazy swing stuff. These crazy things? In our power, in the, I think we have some of these power drills. I think if you go into our exercise library and go to golf swing, I think there's a section for power. Take a picture of that right there. Take a picture of your phone, that list right there. It's pretty easy. Okay, okay, next one. Next one. Here we go. You guys ready? This is the hardest one by far. This next one's the hardest one, but it tends to get the biggest ball velocities if you can do this with coordination. Okay, this is the jumping one. Okay, so the way we're going to do this is 2 stages, right? You're going to do the Jason Zubak drill. You're going to go here, you're going to squat a little bit, and then you're going to jump and try and hit. Now, what did I say? Where are you jumping? You're jumping back 45, right? So if I'm here, I'm jumping backward, like from my right toe to my left heel. As I jump, I'm jumping that way. I'm not jumping forward, okay? This is, guys, be careful. Balls go flying everywhere here. I hope you don't like those drivers you gave me. Okay, here we go. Let's jump. Well, let's go, not go to the top of your backswing, pause for a second. Let's try pause, and then jump. Squat, and then jump up there. Yeah, we'll try a couple of those. Remember, it's not a normal swing. You're going to go to the top and pause, squat, and then jump. And then we'll do the normal swing in a second. Pause, squat, and then jump. You probably already do it. Once you've done that twice, the drill, then try to do a real swing with a little jump. Good. Okay, once you've tried that twice, now try and do a real swing, just incorporating some squatting jumping. Make sure you're jumping backwards. Somebody keep a record for you? Okay, now here we go. I want to leave 10 minutes for questions. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to the arms. You guys ready? You tired on me yet? Don't get tired yet. Here we go. That's why we don't want you to hit like 30 balls with each one of these, because I don't want you to be tired, and that's why our speed's not going down. So that's why I only like hitting 2 or 3 with each of these, and you'll see which one gives gains. I don't care if you make contact. I'm just looking at comment speeds, right? Okay, now we're going to go arms up. We're going to go arms as high as you can. So we're going to get the arms up, and we're going to try and swing. Normal swing, just get the arms up. We'll do the bent arm next. We'll just try and lift your arms up, and try and hit a couple. Again, don't lose posture, just try and lift your arms up. Nope, remember, each one of these by themselves. So we're just going to go arms up and swing. And the arms up. Okay, we'll get to that one next. This is kind of, see what you can do. Yeah. Remember, normally they're doing 2 swings on each of these. One's going to die with 2 of those. Arms up. Anybody notice any difference with club on this? Yes? Up to 110. That's the first one. So notice on you, we got no change with the legs. With the arms, we just jumped 5 miles an hour. So this is a good example. Like we were doing some of the leg stuff. He's like, I don't notice anything. Arms, 5 miles an hour pops. All right. Okay. So now we're gonna go the last two here. Next one. It's okay to bend the left arm. I actually want you to bend the left arm. But you want to keep your hands high, but you don't have to be wide. You can bend the left elbow. Let's go ahead and try and bend the lead arm. Swing hard. Now we're doing like a club. But notice even with the arm again, one momentum. See, as a coach, in my opinion, as a coach, I need to know what makes the club move faster so I know what move I want to coach for speed, right? So with him, I got to coach arms. I know that for sure. With her, I got to coach loading the back leg. For sure, we got a 10 mile an hour gain just by loading the back leg. Him loading the back leg didn't do anything.
Oh, yeah.
He's arm too? Okay. Okay, you're bending elbow. All right, last one we're going to try here before we do a combo. Last one we're going to try is softening the forearms so you can create some lag. Let's create softening forearms, focus on the lag, the speed. So lag and release. Little waggle, loosen it. So feel like the club is really loose and good. Okay, now once you've done this, take one more ball. Everybody's gonna come back to me. You guys stay right here. You're gonna come back to me. Okay, listen up. Here we go. Here we go. Listen up. Let me show you how we do this. Everybody understand the lesson so far? We went through and we tried all these crazy techniques. Now here's what we do. By the way, in general, everybody with me? In general, women have 40 to 50% of the muscle fibers that men do in the upper body. They literally have half the muscle fibers that we do as men. In the lower body, it's about 80 to 85%. So usually lower body is better for women than upper body. But upper body, they need upper body. But usually that makes a bigger gain. Okay, of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things we tried, what are the two best? What were the two biggest gains?
Loading the right leg, high hands.
Okay, when I say go on this next one, it's load the right leg, hands high. Okay, don't go yet. Okay, what are the two best? Load and point toe out is your combo. Load the right, hands high. You were all hands. Hands high, bent elbow, right? Or was the wrist? Okay, so you pick two of those.
Both lead legs and then the squat and jump.
Was any of them all equal?
Yeah, 3.
Okay, you're gonna have to do 3. Good luck. Okay, here we go. Squat jump and bend the elbow. Okay, let's try the combo. Here we go. Let's try the combo. Last one. Everybody try your combo. So you're gonna take your two best and we're gonna put them together. Oh, you missed it. Damn, that was a good one too. Hit 2 balls and we'll see where we're at. Okay, one more. Okay, all right, everybody listen up. Here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Listen up, listen up. All right, let's go down the line. Starting speed was what? The starting was 75. What was our peak? The peak was what? 80. So we went 5 miles an hour. And that was, the peak was the loading the right leg. Was that the main one? Hands high was the main one. Okay, hands high. Where did we start? 79. 79? Peak? So we went up 10 miles. So 5 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour. Club. I'm talking about club. I mean, 10 miles an hour? That's insane for your speed. Okay, yeah. Well, 104 to 112, so 8 miles an hour. 119, 112, 6 miles an hour. And dude, you lost at 4 miles an hour. Okay, but listen, the lowest of the group was a 4-mile-an-hour club head change, right? That's pretty cool, right? So now I look at this and I go, how am I going to coach each of these players? Completely different, by the way. Each one of them had something different that really helped express that club head speed. So now what we do is we would go through and we go, okay, yours was loading the back leg, right, and hands high. Is that what it was? Pointing toe. So it's loading here and toe out here. So it's really using the lower. So I think we really need to focus on your lower body mechanics, being able to generate quality power from here and giving you the freedom to move around that front leg. That would be my thought for power for her. Now what we would do is we would take those two moves and we'd start looking at what? Ball speed. Now I need to take that club head speed and transfer it to the ball. I need to get a smash factor, get that 1.5 smash factor as close as possible. Does that make sense? Or else it's not going to matter. I got crazy club head speed, but I got glancing blows, that doesn't help. So we would then go try and figure out how to square the club face up. And that's how we do our... Guys, come and give these guys a round of applause for doing this. So to me, that's literally, it's one of the most, I'd say probably one of the most fun lessons we do for our students. Come on back, guys. Come on back. Who was the winner there, by the way? Should have brought something. 12? Was 12 miles an hour? I think 12 was the highest. Okay. I think we got, you said 12, you said 4:45. I got like 7-8 minutes to do some questions, but I hope you can see that modern coaching is for super flexible crane. Somebody's messing with my mic. Oh, that's right. So everything we talked about is probably different than you've seen from modern coaching lessons, right? Stable base, arms wide, right? Don't jump, keep your posted on your lead leg as you go through. All of those things to me are great for eliminating variables. When you eliminate variables, they get more accurate. The problem is it's like a chain. It's like a whip. Every time you eliminate a variable, you shorten the whip. If the whip gets half the distance, it doesn't hurt as much as the whip that's longer. So as we add some of those variables back, we can get speed. But guess what? Accuracy can go as well. But I'm telling you right now, my theory is your members need more power than they do accuracy. I know you don't believe me. Just watch what happens. Just go out there and do a power lesson. It will be the talk of the club. People will come back and be like, well, I don't know what you did with Jack, but whenever that class is, I want to sign up for it because he just hit it 100 yards farther than I've ever seen him hit before. Even if it was one shot, they're just fired up about golf again. Okay? All right, questions? Anything? Yes?
Have you found one of those things does more than the
Which are the most common?
Yeah.
Well, you saw here, dude, I don't think anybody did the same here, right? So everybody was different. But with that said, I would say, in general, loading the back leg, for sure. If you're not loading your back leg, we'll gain 5-6 mile an hour club head speed immediately, right? Because that's just physics, right? That's a big one. And then I would say probably because people are so tight in their hips, just turning the left foot out allows them the freedom to rotate through. It makes life a lot easier. Yeah.
On the videos of a long drive guys, when they get to the mirror measurement, do they go internal which way and then let it go?
Say the last part there again. Do they what?
And they go, does this go internal?
So
When we see that couple kind of do this.
think about, take a shaft from your right toe to your left heel. Imagine you're a miniature, you're Ant-Man, and you're on the right hip. Okay, Ant-Man's going to travel on that shaft. Right heel to left toe. So when they get over here, it's going to go down the shaft, and then they're going to go.
I just mean the movement. You see a third foot when it comes off the ground, it goes this way.
Oh, some guys like, and you see that like with Major League Baseball players. Sometimes they'll internally rotate to try and create this, but then as they come through, it spins out. I wouldn't do that. For most of your members, I don't have the flexibility to do that. Yeah.
But we see those guys doing that, right?
And some of these are incredible athletes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Kids, you said, how about for juniors? Kids love this. This is like their favorite day at golf school, right? I mean, they're like, I can swing as hard as I can. I honestly, for kids, my favorite thing for this is like we have a long net. We go up against the long net and we hit into the net because I don't want them to see where the ball goes. We're just trying to see a club head speed number go. Once we see the club head speed, they're so excited to go see what they can do with the ball now. And then we can go into coaching. But I don't want them to be like, I can't control it right now. I'm like, I don't even care what the ball's doing. I just want to know, can you move the club faster?
How about like an age range? Because I know there are certain like
What age do we start?
ages that are more developmentally like ready for that.
So we have what are called speed windows, right? And speed windows for girls, 4 to 7 years old. Boys is 5 to 8 in there. So I'm talking like, we're doing this with the little kids. And then think of it, whenever you're growing fast, train fast. Think about like when you grow really fast, your bones grow faster than the muscles. The muscles get put on tension. It's like a bow and arrow. Can you shoot the arrow faster when the string is taut or loose? Taut. So when they get fat, when they get tight, that's an opportunity for speed. So when you're growing fast, you train fast. So they're growing the fastest when they're young, and then when the growth spurt hits. So for girls, like 10 to 12, boys 12 to 14, somewhere in there when that growth spurt hits, we make this a huge focus. But we do it all the time. I mean, literally, this is what's crazy. Imagine, just so you guys know how crazy we are, but I don't know many people have developed more torque players than we have. I'm talking about starting with little kids, playing torque players. Here's what a lesson would look like. Imagine you had a 6-year-old girl that came to TPI. And basically, we're doing this, speed. And I say, okay, how far would a 6-year-old girl have to hit the ball with the driver for you guys to be like, wow, that's impressive? 100 yards would be incredible. Okay, so let's say I put them on a tier here, and I say, okay, honey, I want you to hit as hard as you can right here, and don't worry about the ball goes. So she gets up there and she swings so hard, and falls down, right? Now the fairway's this way, but the ball goes 100 yards that way. All right, here's what I do. I walk over, I pick her up, I go, that was freaking awesome. I go, do it again. Now, who's got a problem with that? Yeah, Dad. So Dad walks over and it's like, hey coach, can I talk to you for a second? Well, what's up? He's like, I don't know much about golf, but you said, swings hard, you said hit the ball in the fairway, the ball went that way, she fell down, you picked her up and gave her a high five and said, great job. I don't understand. What would you say to Dad?
But she was laughing, you're right.
I'd say, yeah, you're right, you don't know what you're talking about. No, you say, listen, here's the deal. Here's what I can tell you for sure. Right now, your daughter's in something we call a speed window. It's one of the best times in life to develop speed. I can teach her how to hit it straight later. I can't always teach you how to hit it faster later. So if you want me to make her hit it straight, I can guarantee you 2 things. Number 1, I'll give her a lesson and she will hit it straight. That's number 1. Number 2 is I guarantee you it will be slower. Now, if I do that, there's no way she'll ever be able to hit the ball as far as Michelle Lee, right? Or Brooke Henry. You're just not going to be able to do it. I don't want to take that opportunity away from her, because if she wants to do this game competitively, it'd be cool to develop it now. Is she going to win the 6-year-old girls golf championship? No. Do you know who won the 6-year-old girls world championship right now? Nobody does. Who cares, right? So I just want to say, like, some of the things you have to do to develop a Masters champion is different than what you have to do to develop a 6-year-old champion. That's the problem. That's how we do it. Oh, I think he said, do we have success with seniors? First thing, make sure it's safe. Okay, so make sure if you're doing power training, there's no pain involved. But man, a senior, if you can get them 4 mile an hour public speed, that's like 20 for a huge success. This is for your average member, for sure. Yeah. And Sean, you just tell me when I can't answer questions anymore, too.
Do you use the same method for irons, or is it just a driver's method?
Irons, who cares about irons? Next question. If I can hit my 8 iron far enough, I just take a 7 iron, but we're good. That's good. No, it works on everything, absolutely. We do. Actually, I think there's a benefit to do like wedges because they're heavier doing so, and go to drivers, go back and forth. So I definitely think we do with all of them. I'm totally kidding. Yeah.
What is scoop mean for the lag and release or create?
We didn't get. I went really fast, so we didn't get to it. One of the things that Mike was showing a great job of this with the irons. I'd say one big difference between the irons and the driver. Mike was showing that handle leading right into here. The biggest hitters in the world, they're more this way at contact, right? So it almost looks more like it's scooping. It's because you don't want to. You have angular speed, linear speed. Linear speed is like miles per hour, how fast the car is going. Angular speed is like RPMs, the tire, right? I want to maximize my linear speed and my angular speed at impact. You don't want to hold. You want to create lag and you want to release, right? A lot of people that drag and hold have lots of low ball speed or puppet speed numbers. So it almost feels like they're scooping a little bit. Yeah, like I think if you look at Phil Mickelson, he starts releasing right from the top. Really important. He also creates a lot of lag at the top. Yeah.
How much can a head move with power swing as opposed to
this head right here or club head? This head. Almost an entire head. Most of our guys, if I put a circle here.
in front of the ball and his knees stay behind the ball?
Oh, dude, that head's got to move everywhere. We got to move, right? So it's going to move average on long drive tour. It's a half to a whole head width to the right, and then it's going to get back to this. It's going to get back to where it started normally. So we got to get that weight shift.
Stays behind the ball for the release throughout.
Oh yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk about ball speed, but with ball speed, attack angles, everything. Right, I need 5-6 degree attack angle. When I get that 5-6 degree, and that's not about hanging back. I mean, that's not how you get attack angle. But if I can get that attack angle up, then I can get my spin loft down with dynamic loft, and there goes your ball speed. Yeah.
Taking it from there to the golf course psychology, like why?
This is so important.
Any tips?
Yeah, I'll give you a great story that just happened. There's a LPGA player, Julieta Granada. You guys heard of Julieta Granada? Okay, so Julieta, like 2 years ago, lost her tour card. She was struggling. She went to a swing instructor, kind of lost her swing. She came in, and I'd worked with her in the past, had some of her motion capture stuff. We compared, and I was like, wow, it's totally different. So we kind of, me and Mark Blackburn, instructor, kind of trying to get her back, and she's been playing great. The problem is her ball speed's like 88, her clubhead speed's 88 miles an hour. When we do our training stuff, we get to 92, 93, which is a big jump, right? But when she goes out and plays, it's just like it's 88 miles an hour. And I'm like, yeah, why are we working so hard if you're gonna go play like that? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, we shouldn't do this because it's a lot of work. If you're just gonna go put the governor on and swing at 88, you have to, if you train fast, you gotta play fast. She's like, well, it's mentally hard. It's scary to do that. I go, but every time you swing hard, it's better. I said, you know what? Screw it. Let's not do one of the LPGA events. Let's just go to a mini tour somewhere and try one. She did the last 2 events in Florida. I can't remember the tour. It's right underneath the Symmetry Tour, but they have a little mini tour there. She went out there and we tracked. I said, okay, here's what you're gonna do on every swing. And her mom's are caddy, so it's just an interesting scenario. But I'm like, after every swing on the drive, you're gonna tell your mom, 100% is as much as I can do. Your normal speed's like 80%. You're gonna tell me what your percent was in your goals to not get anything under 95%. Okay, I don't care about, who cares? Nobody knows at this tour, nobody's watching, there's no press, blah, blah, blah. So she calls me after the first one, or she sends me a picture. First of all, she's got a $10,000 check in her hand. She won the tournament, right? She goes, I had literally, of every drive on there, I didn't have a drive that was under 94%. She was all excited. So I was like, all right, we're gonna go try this on Symetra and LPGA. She goes, well, I got one more event. This was 2 weeks ago. Then one more of these mini ones, I'm gonna go try it again. Sends me a picture of the trophy. Wins again. This time all over 95%. You've got to make that connection when they play, because literally some of them just, you do all this training and you watch them and you're like, the hell, right? But yes, so you have to talk about that. Anything else? Guys, thanks so much for spending all that time. I appreciate it.